Another huge matchup in this weekend. Who will come out on top? You're about to find out. Right at the face-off dot, Ryan Parody. Looks like he's headed up against Lucas Fernando. A trip to Round Rock on the line. Who wants it more? Here we go, live from Lynchburg as Parody wins the face. Parody doing a nice job yesterday as well for the 49ers. Also plays offense on this crew, but we know how this team kind of runs and plays that run and gun style. They haven't done that as much this year, Reagan. We talked to Coach Navesky about that earlier this week, and they had to kind of slow it down against Appalachian State. A turnover to begin here.
Yeah, Charlotte's had to change their identity this season with a lot of injuries, guys going in different positions. It still worked out for them because they're a team that really knows how to share the ball, so they're able to share the ball not only in transition, but also in 6-on-6 offense.
A turnover to start the game for them, and now Brett Hewitt will implement his offense coming up here today. Big game yesterday for Logan Reynolds at 3 goals in the semifinals, along with Mason Guida, who we were really impressed with him. He's a very slippery player, and here he is taking a quick run at it, falls down, and somehow gets it out to his teammate Ethan Haas. Players slipping early here on this field. It's a lot hotter today than it was yesterday morning. There's a shot. First one of the game is deflected in front. That taken there by Thomas Harwell and regathered by the 49ers. Excellent ride there. And a nice job by Bobby Byrne, the LSM from St. Louis, Missouri. Meet me in St. Louis, he says. And here comes the run from Guida again. This time he goes all the way with the right hand, and Seaman does a nice job of corralling it. Quickly out on fast break.
Charlotte has a trailer here.
That they do. Ackerman coming in, but Wake Forest picks it up, and this is the battle right here. The Charlotte offense versus the Wake Forest defense. What makes both of these two units so potent?
I think Wake Forest does a really good job of playing team defense. They communicate well. They have a lot of vocal leaders on the field. But not only that, they apply pressure to the offense, get in the offensive players' hands, make it harder for them to get comfortable passes and get in a rhythm. I think that's what helped them in their win against Coastal yesterday.
Here's Tyler Nichols. Guarded heavily and has to pass it on to his teammate Ackerman. Really good group here from Wake Forest that we talked about yesterday. There's a pass outside to the player of the year, Declan McHugh, starting the scoring.
Looks like Charlotte was able to get that skip pass across. Farthest guy from the ball. Step down, near side. That's a really tough shot to make.
Looked like Henry Hull might have been able to set up a pick there down low too, didn't he? Excellent pass there from Riley Martin. Martin did not play in the first game these two teams played against each other. Charlotte came out on top, had to grind that one out, 7-6. We were just talking about this defensive unit. Jack Miovitz, Graham Whaley, Grayson Soper. All huge parts of this defensive unit for Wake Forest, but they are led by their goaltender, Jack Church, who has been utterly outstanding so far this year. Young man from New York City. He's come all the way down to Winston-Salem and really produced for Brett Hewitt's crew. Hull. Out to Huff, and now back up top. McHugh, another liner, and that time Church sees it. Not all the way in, but it was collected, and in and out of the crease is what they're going to call with Church. That's interesting because it looked like he took some contact there from Hull.
Yeah, it looks like the refs are having a discussion here.
They're going to keep it with Charlotte. Let's take a look. This one collected and then in. I don't know. Did Church have that ball?
I believe it was the defenseman who had it, and he tried to hand it off to Church, but then faced some pressure and accidentally stepped in the crease. That's a tough call, too, because the offensive player stepped in the crease as well, so could have gone either way there.
Here's Martin. Good ball movement, good shot fake, good shot. McHugh showing up with bad intentions on Championship Sunday.
That starts on the offensive side, the other side of the field. That initial dodge and reverse. McHugh's defender wasn't able to take a good approach. A little hitch, got him in the wrong direction, increased his angle upfield, and then went offside on Church.
McHugh 4 goals yesterday, already halfway home. So we're about 4 minutes into this one. Such a difficult player because you know you don't want to give up that initial shot right off of it, but when he throws that hesitation move, makes it even more tough. Mistake on the end, just getting things set up. Parity quickly. McHugh, this time he shares the medicine. One hand, and Huff, maybe a little too much on that as he gets in the crease.
That's one of the disadvantages of having an all-lefty attack line. It was tough for them to stay in their strong hand and move the ball around.
Huff playing all over the field yesterday. Had an excellent game, and again, another drop ball, another check for Charlotte. Wake Forest has had some chances early. We know what Mason Guida likes to do. Saw him, how many times yesterday did we see him try to dodge the alley and spin back to the left hand? Goes for it again, and that time goes wide. Guida, remember, is battling a lot of injuries this season, has really just come back in the last couple of weeks. Still finding his footing in this offense. He found it yesterday really nicely with his 3 goals. Split dodge. Now comes back to the right. Shot and is wide from Declan Brady. Here he goes again. That time he delivers. Guida with a little rocker step to get it going.
Really great individual move. Has a really fast step. A few stutter steps. Got his defender biting one way. Charlotte wasn't ready with the slide. Just wraps around. Seaman there.
With a player with that caliber of speed, you've talked about it many times on our broadcast over the weekend. You have to slide early when there's a short stick behind X. But with Guida, it's almost like you kind of got to wake up before the sun rises to be able to slide with him.
Yeah, the defense doesn't want that to happen again. They have to be prepared and have that slide almost already halfway there. Because if you start going, the moment he beats his man, it's going to be too late.
Guida out of Summit, New Jersey. Having a great career so far with the Demon Deacons. Now here's Tyler Nichols. And patience here this time from Charlotte. They know how dangerous these deep holes can be. And a flag is down. We got maybe an interference call here. It's going to be against Wake Forest.
I'm surprised they stopped play there. Usually they let the offensive possession continue with the penalties on the defense.
See the call.
30 seconds. Daniel foul. Black interference, 30 seconds.
A technical foul here. That's going to send Graham Whaley to the box for 30 seconds. That was kind of an interesting call in the middle of that.
Foul, Wake Forest, number 40 for interference. 30 seconds.
McHugh tags the pole, and that will reset the clock. Oh, one there by Charlotte. Very close on the end line. Battle between Nichols and Grayson Soper for it. Charlotte, oh, that one almost looked like it went in. Rebounded to McHugh, and that one did. Just as the penalty was expiring, Church knows he wants that one back.
That's a tough situation for Church. Takes a rocket of a shot. Isn't able to track the ball right away. Trying to get set, but isn't able to get there fast enough.
Having to reposition his body from coming across on the crease, it must be a difficult dance to do.
Charlotte's done a good job early, not making it easy for Church. Every single goal has been an unsettled situation or opposite stick side. They're really tough saves to make.
Declan McHugh certainly making it an emphasis and point to get things going early here and shake Jack Church's confidence in the net. He talked about that yesterday, as confidence is key for any goaltender. Make a couple of saves and you start to kind of get hot, especially a guy like Church.
Confidence works in the other direction too. If a very confident goalie who thrives on that loses it, it feels like they can't save anything.
All the way across the field, the low-angled shot. Church saves that one, saves another. McHugh goes and wrap around, but he was in the crease. He wasn't in the crease. There was somebody else in the crease. No matter, you can't do that even if you don't have the ball.
I think Church bailed him out there. Defense probably shouldn't have let that skip pass get through. Made a really good save coming across the crease and going low.
We talked to Brett Hewitt earlier today. He said the clearing had to be good for the Demon Deacons for them to have a good game here. And I'm sure he put a point of emphasis on his team with that right there. It was a case in point of it, giving possession back to Charlotte. And with this hot day that we have outside, the defense playing so much could become a factor later on in the game.
Absolutely. Clearing's always important for a team. Always want to be above 90%. But especially against a team like Charlotte that's so efficient on offense, can make you pay if you make mistakes.
Coming around, jump shot from Huff. No good. And 49ers able to get it back. Quickly, they're trying to get a substitution here. They might catch him. Here comes a skip. Oh my goodness! Warnick just let it go from the parking lot.
Let's see this. Looks like low to high, right in the corner. Standing in the middle of the field. He has all the goal to shoot at. It's pretty close. I think that was only from 12 yards. Even some of the best goalies, that's going to be a tough shot to save.
Why do you think Wake Forest was trying to substitute right there?
I think they didn't get their LSM on. They had 3 short stick defensive middies on, or maybe an offensive player stuck. I think they wanted to try and change him out during the out of bounds play, but weren't able to go fast enough.
Wake Forest with a chance here to double up. Seaman makes the save, but there was a penalty right there. So it's going to be a man-up opportunity for Wake Forest now. I believe there was a slash against Cole Donner. So another man-up spot. And Wake Forest could use it. Down 3 goals early. They do not want this lead to balloon any larger at such an early point in the game.
Talked about it yesterday, but Charlotte has both a second and third team all-conference face-off guys. They did a really good job. Wake Forest did a really good job yesterday shutting down Coastal's first team all-conference, but if you're down, it's really hard to come back against a team that can just get possession after every goal.
And can rotate on top of that. To have fresh legs there. And there's a mistake for Wake Forest as they tried to skip pass it up to Guida, and that one was way too high. So Wake Forest a little shaky out here in this first half of this first quarter. They'll start from behind with Colson Huff. Battling through a lower body injury. They're doubling him here. And a flag is down. Huff saved by Church. And you can see Huff is trying to tough it out. See if maybe Coach Nedvetsky leaves him in there, or maybe he's trying to substitute. And you can see he wants off. That ankle is definitely bothering.
We're still man down for 2 seconds.
Fouls on black. Fouls on black.
Either way, it's a penalty against Wake Forest. Slashing.
Slashing.
Timeout, sir. Timeout.
And sounds like it's going to be a timeout here for Charlotte.
1 minute penalty on Wake Forest.
So Charlotte will regroup
for a slash.
and get set for a man-up possession against Wake Forest, who is in desperate need of a stop here. We'll go to a quick commercial break, and then we will come on back here to Lynchburg. The score right now, Charlotte 4, Wake Forest 1. Come on back to the ALC tournament, presented by Jamerson Lewis Construction. Back here at the ALC tournament. Score early on here, just over 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Charlotte 4, Wake Forest 1, as Charlotte now on a man-up possession here. After the Wake Forest penalty, Wake Forest had a man-up just a second ago, but threw it away and then gave one up of their own. Storyline, though, now on Charlotte's end. Here's McHugh. He's already had 3 today. The storyline for them is Colson Huff's had to come out of this game. Had a great game yesterday, but his ankle seems to be bothering him, so he is going to take a seat. And other players will have to step up. Great. Wow. What a save from Jack Church. That looked like a surefire goal. One of those just reach out and pray kind of saves for Church. As a penalty has now been released. Just another example of how good that young man is. Now up top, Run the Alley does Hole. Ackerman had one lined up, just tried to shoot before he caught it. Couldn't gather the ground ball, and it's picked up by Soper for Wake Forest, trying to get it up across the midline and settle in for a possession. Flag is down on the back end. Shot! Andrew King misfires, and now it's going to be a man up here for Wake Forest.
White 27, that's a push.
They're going to say it's a
Foul,
push.
37. White 27 with a push, technical foul, 30 seconds.
Seems like one man up or man down opportunity ends, another one begins for the other team.
We're living in the world of penalties today. Also something that Brett Hewitt talked about earlier today is strategy. That they needed to stay out of the penalty box. So far, hasn't been the best of executions for the Demon Deacons on clearing or in penalties, but now they've got an opportunity of their own.
Charlotte, number 27, pushing.
Inside opportunity, trying to get the hands free, and he does. That's Patton Royal, but Seaman there to collect it again. Seaman so far having a really good game. Wake Forest just can't seem to get it around him. Seaman also battling injuries today, but made it through yesterday with 7 saves. Last year's ALC championship game, he had 18 of them against Coastal in their win and back-to-back championships. Whole shot is wide. This year, going for a three-peat. It's pretty unprecedented, really, to go for, 3 in a row in this conference. And we'd probably be looking at the Charlotte dynasty here in the ALC if they do win today.
Absolutely. Sometimes champions can be won by champion-type players, but a three-peat, the championship team that first year, more than half of that roster is gone. So by the third year, if you can get a three-peat, it means it's not just great players, but also great coaching and schemes and a great culture.
Church bailed out by his friend the post on that one. I think you nailed it on the head there with the culture aspect of it. Coach Nedvetsky really looking for the right players, but he talked about investing in not just the players, but their families. That lacrosse was not just a game, but also kind of a metaphor for life, and excellent ambassador of the game is he. That's a shot by Haas that goes wide. Of course, he is a graduate of Charlotte, played there in 2017. Pretty good, 168 career points, not too shabby. As an attackman, graduated in 2017. And there's a flag coming, shot wide, but Wake Forest is going to get another man-up opportunity. So they're just kind of hanging around here and kind of taking advantage of the mistakes that now Charlotte's making here at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, I think they would definitely want to capitalize here. Previous man-up opportunities, I don't think they've been spinning the ball around as fast as they could to try and move that Charlotte defense. Charlotte defense has also done a good job of being aggressive, getting on hands.
It looks like Hull, who also comes up off the field, just kind of gingerly. Get the call from the official here officially.
Sir, you told me 21. White, cross check.
There we are, cross check.
23 right, cross check. 1 minute foul.
By the way, Tom Lang,
20 seconds.
Gary Overton, and Brian Kennan are our officials today. And this is locked in now. Sounds like something was said down there, and Brian Kennan did not appreciate it, so it's locked in. That was a very interesting situation. It's called it after the call was made. Guida scores. And Mason Guida takes full advantage, and with this locked-in penalty, Wake Forest now right back in it.
Usually offenses won't dodge on a man-up play, but I guess he saw something, saw how spread out the Charlotte defense was, and just took the shorty before they could respond.
Looked like they had 2 deep holes locked onto the guy on the crease down there, and Guida just had a shorty and nobody ever slid.
Yeah, I think Charlotte was just caught unprepared. They weren't ready for that type of play.
Goal for Wake Forest, number 27.
Extracurricular
Guida.
words being spoken on the sidelines, but that play is done, and now we go to Charlotte, who has the advantage here on a fast break. And stopped there by the Wake Forest defense. They're going to double up on the ball carrier here. And now they'll roll off of it. 18 seconds left on that penalty. There's a good job of Charlotte avoiding the defense.
They'll only have about 18 seconds left after this penalty to go for the quarter.
Charlotte looking to end it on a high note. A sloppy first quarter could end well for the 49ers if they get a goal here. They do not. The closest thing to it, though. Charlotte hitting the post again. Wake Forest is probably going to have to bomb this one downfield, and they do. Oh, my goodness, if that was caught there by Bryce Devlin, that one had a chance for sure. Good first quarter, Reagan.
I agree. I like the intensity so far. I think both teams maybe starting off a little slow, but I think they'll pick up in the second quarter.
Well, we'll find out right after these words. Charlotte 4, Wake Forest 2. Coming back to the ALC tournament presented by Jamerson Lewis Construction. Back here at the ALC tournament, here 1 quarter down. Charlotte leads Wake Forest 4-2. Winner gets an automatic qualifying bid to Round Rock of the MCLA tournament in a couple of weeks. Reagan, we were just talking off air. The amount of guys that Charlotte has on the first team all-conference is just outstanding. First off, you look at Declan McHugh, Tyler Nichols, Colson Huff, all there for Charlotte on offense. But even on defense, Owen Schaefer and Cole Cummings, also first-teamers, as they welcome in another huge group that are honored by the ALC. And I'm sure Coach Nedvetsky incredibly honored and proud for those young men to make it. Josh Miovitz for Wake Forest was named a first-team all-conference as well. Ethan Haas, Stephen James, and Jack Church all on the second team for Wake Forest. And Logan Reynolds made it for Charlotte, along with Ryan Parody and Sean McCarty on that second team.
I don't think I'm seeing the same focus and intensity from Wake Forest's defense that we saw yesterday. Might have been because it was a rivalry game. I think maybe it's because they want to stay out of the box. They're not as aggressive. But I think if they want to disrupt the Charlotte offense, they have to be put a lot more pressure on the ball carriers. I think Charlotte's spinning the ball around a bit too easily for Wake Forest's game plan.
McHugh, another wide shot. He had a really hot start, had 3 goals in the first quarter, but has cooled off in the last few shots he's taken. Hull quickly doubled. Good check there, and a nice job coming off of his defender, Graham Whaley. Here's Andrew King with a lot of speed, going inside. Oh, just barely nicked and disrupted by Sean McCarty. That was the look they wanted, just mistimed it. Good play there. Shot saved by Church. Ball still loose in front and picked up by Wake Forest. But thrown away again. That clear has been the bugaboo for Wake Forest.
Looks like we have a player down by the crease.
We do. As Coach Nedvetsky was trying to get the referees to stop play here. I believe that was Tyler Nichols. And Nichols is luckily getting up under his own power. But this has been a nightmare this year for Charlotte with their injuries. And that's a big key player for them.
Yeah, it looks like he's jogging off the field pretty well now. I think he had a really great move to beat his initial defender and was going right towards the goalie. Shot high to low. Church saved it, but defensemen like to make you pay if you get that close. I think he took a really big hit to the chest. Might have had the wind knocked out of him.
So he'll take a breather. Huff, by the way, is back out on the field at the X position, so good to see him out there. Just a warrior player. battling through that injury. And he now has it guarded by Graham Whaley, and Whaley's been pretty good for Wake Forest today. Had some nice checks.
Yeah, something that's easy to notice with these Wake Forest defenders, they have really sound fundamentals and good footwork on that one-on-one defense. You can see each of them get in a good position, have their sticks out in front, stay in front of their men pretty well.
They double McHugh. They give that up to Ackerman, and Church has that one, saw that one all the way through.
Yeah, that's the kind of shots that Church likes to see, low to low from 15. He's able to save those and kind of get in that rhythm we talked about before the game.
Nice crisp pass on that clear to Ethan Haas. You can see they're quickly going to double number 9, McHugh. They will not try to let him beat them any longer. And they'll get it back up top and reset for Guida. Guida also quickly doubled. Moves it quickly. Inside, that was a good look, just not on target. Chance there for Thomas Harwell to hit Bryce Devlin. That's the kind of ball movement you want there, but it's just got to be more on target.
Yeah, Charlotte was anticipating that pass to go to the adjacent man. All their defenders flooded that side, but instead he skipped past it. Definitely would have been a goal had that pass connected.
Hull not paying attention, and he is smothered quickly. And a push or an illegal procedure? Trying to see what the official's calling here. Nate Seidel playing at the long stick position today, interestingly enough. We saw him playing attack yesterday. That's a heck of a change. Brett Hewitt going with a different strategy. Church, good save there, right in on his inside of his chest. Got the stick on it, but it rebounded out, and Charlotte gets it right back. Nichols back in here to his teammate Huff. Inside opportunity and another post. How many posts are these guys going to hit? Oh, my goodness. McHugh wins the ground ball battle. Wrap around!
It's a great shot from McHugh. Really low angle. I don't know how he snuck this one in.
Look at that, his body's behind
yeah,
the goal line.
I think Church might have been guessing low. You can see his hands drop a little bit.
Wow.
It was a really quick release. Didn't really show any indication of a shot.
UNC Charlotte, number 9.
Boy, he can flip it. McHugh transferred in from Pfeiffer College a couple years ago. Has been a very welcome addition as a illegal procedure here going against Wake Forest. They're having trouble with parity the last few times. Either getting ground balls or getting the clamp. And now Charlotte extends their lead. First goal of the quarter right there was from McHugh. So 5-2. This has been the largest lead they've had so far. It's been a game very riddled with mistakes, riddled with just misses. It's kept Wake Forest in this game, but if Charlotte finds it, then they're going to really start to put a lot of pressure on the Demon Deacons. And with a guy like Colson Huff, who's battling through injury, is starting to get hot and spells trouble for the defense.
Nichols looks upfield. He's able to find that cutting cuff. It was really well timed. You can see that's just how their offense works in general. All that ball movement, off ball, making sure the ball spins around the horn. Really great team goal overall.
Lead is now 4. And a big face-off here to try to stop the bleeding. But Ryan Parody says, I've got it here. Although good effort play by some of the other defensive middies and wing players. And a nice flip over by Fernando, able to give it to his teammate Ben Snavely. Loose ball though again, and Cummings, who's so good at this, almost able to come out with it. It's Bryce Devlin though that does. Here comes Guida. They've quickly doubled to him whenever he's tried to dodge the alley, or really anywhere. See if they do it again. Guida's staying away for now. Good defense by Cummings here. Somehow, some way, any way you want it. An incredible goal there from Bobby Byrne, the freshman.
He's cradled for his life, split the double team. Charlotte defense was going for all stick. They weren't laying the body. Quick little release down low, and it squeaks past Seaman.
That's one just, I think that's a good reason to look at that, and a good way of looking at it is really squeezing it past. That was like a field mouse on the field carried across the goal line there for him. As now we have a hold here going against Wake Forest on another contested faceoffs. These ground ball battles on these faceoffs have been really key in this game.
Yeah, we saw it in the Liberty Tech game yesterday. Liberty was able to turn it into a ground ball battle at the faceoff, walk away with a win. I think same thing with Wake Forest in their game against Coastal. Didn't necessarily win the draw, but were able to get those faceoff ground balls and get extra possessions that way.
Well, what have you seen so far in this game that is going to get Wake Forest maybe rolling a little bit more offensively? They've been very up and down.
I think it all starts with catching and passing, not just in the clear, but in offense as well. There's been a lot of opportunities. Like in the first quarter on the man up, they threw it over when they had an open man for a step down. We saw in the second quarter, they had a really great offensive possession, dodging, moving the defense, reversing it, and they tried to go for a skip pass to someone who's wide open on the crease. I think if they can clean up that catching and passing, we're looking at a 6-5, 6-6 game instead of a 6-3 game.
Charlotte has won that kind of battle of the goaltenders, but they've also won the battle so far on the offensive end against the really stout Wake Forest defense. What's been the key to their success?
We talked about it yesterday and saw yesterday. Their ball movement is really crisp. They've hit a lot of posts. One thing is that their shot selection is great. They're not settling for good shots, and the good shots they have settled for have been saved. Another thing is their shot placement. A lot of them are hitting that right post. You notice Church is a right-handed goalie. They're going for that opposite side. It's a lot harder to get that stick across your body as a goalkeeper. I think that's what's led to them having some success.
Ball movement absolutely outstanding today from Charlotte. And they've moved a lot of their attackmen around because Huff and Nichols have come in and out of the game with injuries. But one guy that hasn't and has been the story of the game so far is Declan McHugh. 4 goals by himself today. With that long sweeping shot, gets so much torque on it. Very difficult to stop, even for a goaltender the caliber of Jack Church.
Something you notice about McHugh is that he has a really great off-ball movement. It's what's led to him being open a lot. I think his first 2 goals were from feeds. His third one was that loose ball where he wrapped around, but his first 2 were just getting open for his teammates for step downs.
Martin trying to screen the goalie there. Shoots it wide. 20 seconds on the shot clock here. From the top, and kind of a lobbed pass was easily stolen away. That was number 17, Ford Chappell, the senior from Wilmington, North Carolina. You know, kind of an underrated storyline, we just talked about it recently, is that Nate Seidel is playing LSM today instead of attack. And he had a big part in their win yesterday against Coastal. You think that changes anything that Wake Forest is trying to do with having to move guys around?
I think when you go from an offensive perspective to defensive, usually those guys who are able to play multiple positions have really great IQ. I think they're trusting that Seidel has some really good feet under him, is able to cover some of those faster guys, maybe specific matchup they're looking for.
There's Guida again, goes to that left hand. Oh, I mean, goodness gracious. This poor post. We might have to call in a welder later because this thing's going to break if they keep hitting it out there. This big skip pass from the top, fakes one shot, gets his hands free. That one goes high. Byrne just had a great goal on Cummings. Spins, fires, Cummings knocks it down. Gets it right back though. What a great battle down low between Bobby Byrne and Cole Cummings. Guida wants to go left, and his defender knew it. Big number 13, Owen Schaefer, one of the captains of this team. Ethan Haas now, too high. Look at Schaefer, and 6'4", 200 pounds. That's a big boy. Byrne beats his man, fires wide. That was actually Ethan Haas. Now just 17 seconds here. And a player, I think that's Schaefer who's down here. Just the injury history for this Charlotte team is just unbelievable this year.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened here. Maybe he got caught up with his teammate, or seems like he's walking off fine now.
Seems okay for now. But crucial 17 seconds that he's gonna have to be off the field. Ethan Haas also coming off the field for Wake Forest. As looks like the clock accidentally got reset. There was 17 seconds left on that clock. So quickly they'll try to get some substitutions on. Get a different looking LSM here. On comes Joe McShay, first team all conference this year as well. The shot clock did reset, interestingly enough.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for Charlotte's defense. I think they've been playing defense for the past minute and a half. Got another 80 seconds.
Oh, tried to scoop that one into the net, did Cole Frank. I'm not sure that anybody got a piece of that on that last possession. No matter. Byrne again. Oh, tried to bounce that one to the opposite side. Siemens saw that it wouldn't be going through him. Quick double. They finally get it out. Logan Reynolds, who we haven't heard much from today. Back to Guida. Rolls it beautifully. Shot, score. What a move from Mason Guida.
We saw a bunch yesterday. You hear the Charlotte bench yelling, he's going to roll back. He's going to roll back. He dragged his defender to his spot. Really quick step there on the roll back. Defender kept going. Open hands in the middle.
You know you're really good when the entire team knows what you're doing and you do it anyway. Guida with a hat trick. After a hat trick yesterday, he's had an excellent tournament. I'm sure that he will definitely be in heavy consideration for the all-tournament team.
A lot of Wake Forest's production so far has been on one-on-one moves and beating their individual defenders and getting the shot. I'd love to see them have a couple more team goals, get some assists. I don't know if they're going to be able to get back in this game unless they do that.
They have kind of just hung around so far. This is another defensive battles with penalties and good goaltending as Church gets another save. Very similar, maybe a little more high scoring, but not at all different really from the first matchup. As Andrew King does a nice job protecting his stick. And they're just trying to hold on to get some reinforcements involved here, and they finally do. Declan Brady holding on to it there for a moment, gets us to his teammate Bryce Devlin. And now Cummings guards Devlin. Guida and Haas not out there right now, getting a breather. Good look inside, but knocked down. Better play by Cole Cummings. And here he comes. We know he's capable as a scoring threat and a feeder. And a penalty, though, coming up. As looks like Harwell got too aggressive against Cole Cummings. Free opportunity here for the 49ers to get their lead back to 3. Nichols lines one up. Easy save for Jack Church. He's going to need another one of those on this possession.
Number 7, hold, 30 seconds.
Holding
left.
penalty
Number 7,
against
holding,
Harwell.
30 seconds.
Just 30 seconds, though. As we are in the final 2 minutes of this half. Very big spot here for both teams. This could be an opportunity for Wake Forest to get some momentum with a stop and maybe even a score at the end. Or it could get Charlotte to a 3-goal advantage heading into halftime. They can waste as much time as they want here. At least up to 80 seconds. McHugh doesn't shoot it. Tried to skip pass it up, and they paid the price for it. But a good wrap check there. Overran the ball, did both Charlotte defenders, and it was picked up by George Papanicolaou. And a good timeout here from Brett Hewitt.
Yeah, really smart timeout. He knew his offensive player on the far side of the field was being doubled. They were still man down. Great chance to sub on their right personnel.
So we've got a minute 31. The penalty literally just ended as that timeout commenced.
Timeout.
What do you think Brett Hewitt is drawing up here in the huddle?
I think maybe a set play, or thinking get to the end of the shot clock, a few rotations, make sure they work the ball around, everyone gets a touch on their stick. A couple of minutes go by, maybe not repeat those mistakes of trying to feed inside, have those drop passes. So I think they'll work the ball around, hopefully have everyone get a touch, and then have probably Guida, who's been having the hot hand today, start off the dodge. Either if he has opportunity, let it fly, or move it around to the backside for a good step down.
His move has been predictable, yet hard to stop. It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to stop it. How has Charlotte combat that? They've thrown a double team at him already today. It's just about more fundamentals and being a little bit more crisp.
I think so. I think it's important to keep their feet under themselves, that he's able to get that roll back because he puts so much momentum going downfield, and then the moment he has those hard back steps to change direction, the defender usually can't keep up with them. So that and also making sure sticks are in hands and not a comfortable release. He does a really good job having that stick protection, but if the Charlotte's defenders can use those poles to either get a lift or poking his hands, it's a lot harder to get that rollback shot off.
Is there any player that you ever played against that had a similar move like that bothered you?
Player I played with in practice, Carter Elliott. He's really good alley dodger, able to get down the field and shoot on the run, but he wasn't able to get that on the run shot. There's a lot of times where he was able to roll back, snipe it on the far side.
I'm sure that caused some frustration in practice.
Yeah, a lot of offensive, defensive battles, some heated moments, throwing helmets, yelling at each other.
Of course. All working to get better. As here's Haas. Hasn't done much today, but has been steady. 25 seconds on the shot clock here. Now the top to Andrew King. They really like this young man, this freshman from Boys Latin in Baltimore. Tried the backside pass. Reynolds couldn't handle it. Now picks it up with 10 seconds. He's got a chance here. And a good check there from Charlotte. That was Isaac Montague. Playing a little defense. But given right back to King. Clock is running down with 10 seconds. Haas can't handle it. Picks it back up. In the middle, knocked down by Cummings. And a game that has been filled with turnovers and penalties ends that way in this first half. This has been a battle for those ground balls and a little bit sloppy at times, but ends up with a 6-4 Charlotte lead.
I think Wake Forest can thank the post in that first half.
So we will take a break right after this as we're going to interview Brett Hewitt from Wake Forest, the head coach. Coach, first half, obviously it's been kind of a war for those ground balls, a little bit of sloppy play out there with turnovers and penalties by both teams. How do you kind of clean up some of those mistakes so you end up on top at the end?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to clean it up from top to bottom. Defensively, we've got to get those ground balls, get out to space, not, we've picked some up in the middle and just haven't been able to get out to space with those ground balls. Both teams have made mistakes. But, we're going to beat ourselves. We're confident. We've settled in. We were a little rattled to start, but I think our defense is good moving forward.
Coach, you've been able to manage to stick in this game despite Charlotte pretty much winning most of that battle at the face-off X. What can you do to try and win some possessions there?
We've got a lot of different things we use. We might double pull it. We might put an LSM on face. But, we've been losing, but we're not that far off of them. So we're comfortable where we are. It's our transition game. We've had a few fast break opportunities that we've thrown the ball away. So I think it's just protecting the ball when we've got it and making the most out of those opportunities.
Coach, thanks so much. Tell Garrison he's doing a great job with the water boy today, huh?
All right, thank you.
Awesome. Having his son Garrison Hewitt down on the field with him as the water boy today. Such a special thing between father and son, getting able to share that moment. Coach Hewitt going to try to lead his team and Deacons back. They're down 2 at the half against the 2-time defending champions, Charlotte 49ers. We'll come right back to Lynchburg City Stadium right here at the ALC tournament, presented by Jemerson Lewis Construction. Back here at the ALC tournament, 6-4 is our halftime score between Charlotte and Wake Forest. The 49ers out on top. What a great goalie battle this is, Reagan. I mean, Jack Church and Cody Seaman putting on a show.
I think they're both seeing the ball really well. They're both making saves down low, able to track those shots even when players change planes. It's really fun to see great goalie battles. Charlotte also getting a good contribution offensively from Declan McHugh. 4 goals today. Mason Guida's got a hat trick for Wake Forest. We'll come on back and talk to the coach of Charlotte, Nick Nedvetsky. Halftime score, Charlotte leads Wake Forest 6-4. Reagan, Declan McHugh has been outstanding. What a hot start he had. 4 goals in that first half. Mason Guida for Wake Forest is the hot hand for them. 3 goals. These two guys as well, just really, really on point today in this championship matchup. Absolutely. Both these guys are really strong lefties. I think part of their success is being able to have accurate shots to beat the keeper. They've really funky releases where they're able to add some deception to their shots as well. I think that's helped them have some success.
Wake Forest has really been getting a lot of good individual contributions, but you talked about them maybe would have made more success if they got a few more set plays to go.
Absolutely. A lot of their passing hasn't been exactly crisp. That's why they've had to stick to those individual plays. I think if they can have those team passes and those team goals, they would have a lot more opportunities to score. I think just connecting those easy passes, they find the open lanes, they find those open guys, but it's just a matter of making that pass.
Charlotte's going for a three-peat, and with that comes added pressure. Obviously, we're about to go down to the field in just a second to talk with head coach Nick Nedvesky, who is joining us now. Coach, first half, just wanted to ask about Colson. It seems like he's battling through that injury. Nichols also went down. How is the health of your team right now?
Could be better. We're with the family. Injuries come, injuries go. You got guys that want to play, want to step up. That's championship caliber right there.
Coach, it seems like your offense is clicking and moving the ball around really well, but you had 16 shots on cage, 6 go, hitting the post a lot. What do you tell your team to try and finish those opportunities?
Yeah, maybe don't hit the post as much as we're doing. No, but just keep playing the way we're playing. Again, Charlotte lacrosse, you know all our goals come off feed, so that's what we're looking to do. Beautiful day. We're with the family. Where would you rather be than right here, right now?
I can't think of anywhere else. You're looking at the tan, though. It looks pretty good out there. I love it. Thanks, Coach, so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Great banter and fodder from head coach Charlotte, Nick Nedvesky, who's fired up on the sideline, ready to go. He's incredibly passionate about his team, and Parity wins another faceoff. We just got done talking about that at halftime, and with Coach Brett Hewitt, that's been a real bugaboo for Wake Forest. Parity's been excellent.
Yeah, unofficial stats so far, he's won 11 of 13, pretty dominant today.
Huge game for Parity. And for Charlotte, they look to finish the job with Colson Huff out there, Tyler Nichols out there. They are at full strength still. And now Nichols going to try and get this pass off to McHugh, and that one bounces off of Church and into the net. Just a nightmare scenario for a goaltender.
You hate to see it if you're a goalie. He's solid all the way, was able to get a stick on. Just a little bit off. It's a game of inches. And deflected in. You can see him down, headed to the ground. He definitely wants that one back.
Just as we got off of the conversation with Coach Nick, he just talked about it. Assisted goals. That's how they've gotten a lot of these. And now, on top of it, they'll double up with a penalty. Unnecessary roughness on Wake Forest.
Yeah, they already have the second team all-conference faceoff guy in Ryan Parity. And only going against 2 guys in this faceoff is going to make it that much easier for him to win it.
Fernando's had his troubles today with Parity. As we get back to the face-off dot, just puts the game in a different dimension when you have such a dominant face-off guy like that.
Penalty on Wake Forest, number 21, Josh Miavich, for unnecessary roughness.
Now McHugh back to Nichols across. What beautiful feeds, but a beautiful save there by Church. Just pretty much dove with his body on that one.
We've seen it before. Church does a great job of being able to get across his crease from those cross-field passes. Shows it there. Was able to, like you said, just dive, stop the ball, get himself on top of it.
Wake Forest pulls it across the midline, lines one up, and it's too wide. off the stick of Thomas Harwell. This game's still in a 3-goal hole. Nobody's been able to get a bigger lead than that. As Wake is still in the box, Josh Miovitz, their all-conference defender, first-teamer. As he gets pushed out of bounds there on that back end. Big play there made by Yakas Dodgett. Yakas Dodgett, who's got unbelievable hair and size, uses both of them, pushes defender out.
We talked about this yesterday. The lines on the field aren't exactly even with the football lines. I don't think Wake Forest realized that and got a little too close before getting shoved out.
Critical defensive possession here for the Demon Deacons. Nichols. That one blocked in front. A quick double there. Nice slide from Soper. He gets pushed out of bounds. Easy call for the ref to make there. Thought he sold it a little bit?
Yeah, I think he sold that one a little bit of acting, but hey, sometimes it works out for you.
We'll give him his Tony later. Either way, Wake Forest going to get this ball back, and feels like the game a little bit teetering here for them. As the beginning of this second half has gone Charlotte's way so far, but it's certainly, again, not out of reach with this, so many runs that we've had in this game. King fakes a split, spins back. High bouncer was a slow shot that easily was collected by Cody Seaman. Good pass there on the clear there. Charlotte the last 2 years, conference champions. Made their first ever trip to Round Rock in 2022. Pulled a big upset as a 15 seed, first ever team to do it. At that seed, upsetting a number 2. Came back last year, won the conference again, and won again as a 12 seed. McHugh, we just got done talking about not hitting those posts, Reagan.
Yeah, I think Church got a piece of that. Deflected off of Church and then off the post.
Huff is doing his part offensively, creating some havoc. Now the patience coming from the Charlotte offense. Cole Warnick, who had a really nice one-timer from way out. Lined it up and stung it in the first half. Huff again. To Martin. He's backed off by Whaley. So tough to get around. Shot goes wide. 23 seconds on the shot clock for the 49ers. In quest for title number 3 in a row. Huff with a shorty. Just a little flick of the wrist, it looked like, on that shot. Still wide. Ten seconds. Bouncer, too high. Getting plenty of shots on him, just not on the cage. And excellent defense put up there on the backside by, it looks like out there is number 19, Mason Bortner.
It was a little bit of a dead possession for Charlotte. You could tell it was a lot different than their earlier ones. A lot of dodging and then shooting the moment they get that open opportunity and not drawing the slide and then moving it around. Even though they had a lot of shots off, I wouldn't say any of them were really super high quality.
Wake Forest, unfortunately, gives it right back to the 49ers on the clear again. Looks like those guys really battling the heat down there. It is much hotter on the field than it is where we are in the booth. Now a light breeze coming in as well. It's been there all day, but it comes and goes. Nichols shot again wide. That's the 6th consecutive missed shot off the cage. Nichols, that one doesn't miss. And Church says, my bad.
Yeah, in the replay, Church saw it, might have been guessing or wasn't synced up. You can see his head is following the ball the whole way. Stick and body don't.
Just a long bouncer out there, and now Charlotte has their largest lead of the day, and Coach Hewitt gonna go to Joey Sigler to try to figure out this faceoff. The freshman from Houston, Texas, would love to visit his home state next week. Parity goes early. That's a good start for Sigler.
Goal for UNC Charlotte by number 10, Tyler Nichols.
Byrne can't handle that pass. And a huge battle for the ground ball is finally picked up by Harwell. Great job by Joe McShay, all-conference defensive midfielder. And here goes Guida again, trying to keep his team in it. Fires and scores. Mason Guida cannot be stopped.
Really great about that shot. He did it with the right hand. I think all his previous goals today and yesterday were left-handed. Just went right down the alley. I think they were expecting him to roll back, but he just decided to pull it with his right. Went opposite left corner.
For Wake Forest.
Surprised us there with that one, definitely. But again, Mason Guida has been the entire offense. 5 goals on the day for Wake Forest. 4 of them have come from Guida. The other one was that unbelievable split dodge on the double team by Bobby Byrne. And there's an easy slash call on Sigler, who won the face clean and then got a penalty to boot. Harwell's got an opening, tries to go backside, but Cummings saw it the whole way. Cummings does such a good job of getting his stick right in the line of the passes.
Absolutely. Not only does he have a good job of off-ball being in those passing lanes, having them up, but he's able to also knock down passes while covering players too.
1 minute.
Able to track the sticks.
Release it.
His offensive man.
6-10 on the release.
Charlotte just cannot seem to get Wake Forest off their back. Another man-up opportunity, but it's not been a good possession here for Wake Forest today. They've squandered these.
For UNC Charlotte,
They cannot do it now.
for slashing. 30 seconds.
All 5 of their goals have really come, like we've talked about, off of individual efforts. And they've had good looks, just haven't been able to finish them.
One of the other aspects about missed passes is that even if it doesn't result in a turnover and they're able to get the ground ball, it still disrupts the rhythm of their offense. It takes a few seconds to reset, and then all of a sudden they have less time on the shot clock to try and make something work.
That one goes. That's Logan Reynolds. Wasn't sure if we saw a ball go off the side of the net or not, but it did not. And Wake Forest, for the first time today, has a nice, good possession of ball movement that goes for a goal.
That's exactly what they needed to do. Draw the man, get the defense to rotate, get it down to that low side. Charlotte was trying to get there, just not fast enough before he could put it away.
Reynolds, their top attackman, lefty, had 3 goals of his own yesterday. It's the first we've heard from him today. And this time, they put Fernando back out on the faceoff dot, and he goes too early. We're back to an 8-6 game. Here comes that big bad Charlotte offense.
Number 4, Logan Reynolds.
All day long, battling with the stout Wake Forest defense. Harwell credited with the assist there on that last goal. Martin tries to go back to his teammate Bass. Look at Andrew King coming up from behind him. Too heavy and too fast. Did King. Good effort from the freshman. Up top, Nichols couldn't handle the pass. Oh, well, just when you think Charlotte's going to pull away, Wake Forest just like a gnat keeps flying in their ear. Flying towards the net. Great save by Seaman on a loose ball picked up by the 49ers. Huge opportunity there by Ben Klein. Squandered away by the powerful Cody Seaman. Back up top. It's Warnick. They'll set up the offense here. Charlotte's starting to look a little tired out there. A lot of their guys jogging back in spots, and lots of guys on the sideline just trying to stay hydrated. It is hot. Tried to work it inside to McHugh, found it, and found the top corner.
Really smooth stick skills here. That pass was a little bit off center. Had to reach across his body to catch it. Brings it back. Immediately able to get in the shooting position. Again, one of the things that makes him so great is his ability to have some deception in ball placement. Shoots it low to the far right corner. Makes it really tough for Jack Church to track it.
Ball kind of almost bounced. I wasn't sure if that ball got deflected. But McHugh with such quick hands to be able to react to wherever the ball is thrown, even in traffic. Parity makes a move. McHugh rolls, fires wide. Staying with Huff and the 49ers. Four minutes left in this third quarter. Charlotte's largest lead is 4. Wake Forest continues to hang around. It may just come down to that fourth quarter. Do they have one last run in them, or is Charlotte going to put this one out of reach? Pass too far out of the reach of Bradley Bass, picked up by Whaley, and it is a turnover.
Really good defensive possession by Wake Forest. They're applying a lot of pressure to the ball handlers. That's what led to that bad pass and turnover.
Trying to give another punch back to this 49er defense. We haven't really talked about as much today, but they have excellent players on that side. Sean McCarty, Cole Cummings. They run Owen Schaefer back on in a substitution right now. And Haas takes advantage of it. Charlotte was subbing on, and he went for it in all the chaos.
Charlotte was a man down in this possession. They were a little late subbing. I think they might have expected them to try and pass and rotate. He just took it himself, got himself to a good position to score. Goes high to high.
That's exactly the move that Brett Hewitt talked about with us in our pregame interviews with him before we came to Lynchburg. That dodge down the right alley and that hard shot from Haas, that is his signature play. Young man out of Darien, Connecticut, one of the best programs, high school programs in the country. Blue Wave are always a tough team up there, up north.
Number 22, Ethan Haas, unassisted.
Haas has his first of the day. Had 2 goals yesterday. And once again, Wake Forest gets within 2. Most of this game, they haven't been able to get much closer than that. Does Huff have a punch back? He's got a beautiful feed, but it's not on target. Andrew King picks it up, and he's off to the races, trying to beat both double team there, and does. He splits it and slows it down. What a nice job by that freshman. Inside, shot and score! Patton Royal with a majestic goal.
Wake Forest does a great job taking advantage of the unsettled opportunity. Notices that the middle of the field is wide open and then dodging on an offensive midi. Just a quick move to get the midi off his line. Goes topside. That's almost point blank against Cody Seaman. Not really much he can do about it.
A freshman out of Fairfield, Connecticut. With the hot goal. Now a quick turnaround for Parody. Trying to get one back. Can't do it. But picked up again. McHugh in front. Shot. Hits the crossbar. Must be where he must be in double-digit crossbar and post hits right now. Charlotte just continues to hit that post.
I'd like to see that one again. It hit the crossbar, went straight down. Might have had some backspin and crossed the plane there.
We had that happen last year in a game in this tournament. By the way, Patton Royal, product of Fairfield Prep. Fairfield. Here's Nichols with Graham Whaley. This has been the battle today. Heavy hit on that screen. Nichols still holding it, under 30 to shoot.
Now he's dodging on a short stick.
Rolls inside, looking backside. I don't think he was intending that for Huff, but Huff got it nonetheless. Tries to scoop it with the funky scoop and get it inside. Church just barely got a piece of that one, I believe. Well, I guess not. Quickly, and a shot. Oh, Wake Forest wasn't ready for it. The defensive midfielder, Joe McShay.
With 0.3 seconds left in the third quarter. He shoots through the defender. Defender's stick breaks off his body. Put a lot of power behind it, trying to go as quickly as possible.
The storm breaker on that one for Joe McShay. He's the little guy with a really, really big shot and an even bigger stick to defend with. The senior from Waxhaw, North Carolina, with a huge goal to end this third quarter, as Wake Forest was hoping to grab all the momentum heading into the fourth. That's a big play from a guy that doesn't score a lot, but when he does, that can really hype up the bench and sideline of Charlotte. We'll go to commercial break. We'll come back for the fourth quarter. Don't touch that stream. Charlotte leads 10-8 in the ALC championship game. Final quarter of the ALC championship game here in Division II. Charlotte leads Wake Forest 10-8, looking for a third consecutive title at the ALCs. Wake Forest looking for their first ever conference championship and their first ever trip to Round Rock, Texas and the MCLA tournament. Ryan Parody has been dominant at the faceoff dot today. Joey Sigler has had some success, but this time Parody wins it clean and wins the ground ball as well. A huge goal right at the end of that third quarter with 0.3 seconds. Joe McShay, the 5'7" defensive midfielder, with a huge goal off a quick restart that we thought was going to end the quarter. As Henry Hull back out there for Charlotte, they work it around backside to Tyler Nichols. Quickly trying to get back to Ackerman, and Ackerman's spinning and losing the ball. And Seidel threw that to nobody. King had to pick it up. Now just 10 seconds for Wake to move it across. Pass dropped. They got to get it across, 4 seconds. Quickly trying to get it just barely in time. Graham Whaley. Huge play there made by Soper. Wake Forest trying to dig deep. Do they have another run in them? They've gotten within one. It was just 10-9 before that last goal. Shot goes off of Seaman. Excuse me, it was 9-8. Shot clock did reset on that. Haas trying to find something, fakes the shot, and a good trail check by McShay. Unsung hero of the last 3 minutes. Haas hanging his stick just a little too early to set that shot up. As Charlotte gets it going. Coach Nedvetsky always preaching team lacrosse, always looking for that assisted goal. We've harped on that all weekend as they have an amazing goal to assist ratio. Riley Martin. Inside to McHugh, who's had the hot hand today. That one just too wide. McHugh with 6 goals. The 2024 ALC Conference Player of the Year. Ball was loose in front. Church nabs it. .5 seconds here. Church has got to throw it across. It is a cross, way up and way down, and they'll play a game of pop fly with Cody Seaman. Great job by Charlotte on that ride there. That was a big stop for Wake Forest in that clear game again, letting them down.
Yeah, not a lot of movement from Wake Forest. A lot of players standing around. You want to try and get open and not just keeping your goalie stick. It's important to try and move off ball as much as possible.
Martin with the left hand goes wide right. Martin again. That time goes wide as well. Just tried to find that really low angled shot there. Now McHugh will have it from X. Don't usually see him come from behind there. Shot, score! And he bows to the crowd. Says thank you very much. A seventh for Declan McHugh.
Really smooth stick protection on this release. He kind of hides the stick behind his body before the release comes. Doesn't show a lot of indicators that he's going to shoot. Gives a lot less time for Church to track it.
Almost looked like he started to shoot before he even looked at the goal.
Yeah, he used the torque of him turning towards the goal to add a little bit of speed to that shot. Really high level play.
What an impressive player. Young man McHugh from Gastonia, North Carolina, playing in his final season. This team has had so many talented players. Playing without one of their best players, Blake Moxham, as Seaman, another talented player, gets another save. Moxham was an 80-point guy for them last season. Nick Ferrens from 2 years ago, the MCLA Player of the Year. Over 100 points for him. McHugh and Tyler Nichols, and even players of the caliber with Colson Huff there as well. I mean, the level of offensive power that this team has had over the last 3 seasons has been measured up to by very few. They're looking to go even further this year in the MCLA tournament. After 2 quarterfinal bowouts the last 2 seasons. Now with a 3-goal lead, 8:45 from a 3rd consecutive ALC title. Nichols, Church, beautiful save. Backhand almost, looked like that hit the post. That was a behind the back shot, falling away. Another nice play though by Ackerman, gets that one loose. And it looks like a timeout. Good timeout there from Nick Nedvesky. That's the kind of play that wins championships. We'll take a short break, come right back. 8:24 to go in the 4th. Charlotte leads Wake Forest 11-8, looking to three-peat in the ALC tournament. Come on back to Lynchburg here for the ALC tournament presented by Jamerson Lewis Construction. 8 minutes and 24 seconds separate Charlotte from a 3rd consecutive ALC championship. They lead Wake Forest 11-8 and have another opportunity to extend the lead.
It's only about a 3-goal game right now. Anyone who's watched lacrosse in the past knows that 3 goals isn't a lot. In the UNC Duke game last night, UNC scored 3 goals in 20 seconds of game time. But going into that timeout, all the energy was with Charlotte. You could see the difference in their benches. UNC Charlotte was super hype. A lot of high fives, hugs, and Wake Forest just didn't have the energy that Charlotte has. If Wake Forest wants to turn it around, they have to lean on each other and try their best to work as a team.
These ground balls have been so apparent. Nate Seidel doing a great job grabbing that one, getting it to Andrew King in the middle of the field. If they're going to start the comeback, it's got to start now. King gets it to Byrne, and he tries to go behind the back, and loose ball is picked up by Bryce Devlin. Wake Forest sets up shop. You're right, the energy level on that last ground ball possession there, Reagan, was huge for Charlotte. Mason Guida has been quiet in the second half. Trying to create a spark with a short stick D mid on him. Instead goes across to Byrne inside and tries to crosshand one past the goaltender. Instead he goes past the cage. Guida keeps it alive. Another quick substitution. Here they come. And a big check coming there, but picked right back up. Brogan Chikara sticking with it. Cummings all over Byrne. Oh my goodness, just a softball pass there. And Guida tried to stop with his knees. Another turnover for the Demon Deacons. Great outlet pass there by Cody Seaman. Well, they've patched up as many holes in the boat as they've been able to, but the ship's starting to sink a little bit here for Wake Forest, as we are now under 6 minutes. Colson Huff spins, fires, and scores. The championship within their grasp with a 4-goal lead.
Huff here notices his defender's taking a bad approach. Decides to throw a little split dodge into a rollback for the shot. Creates that separation, gets him a few yards closer. Really great shot, going sidearm to high.
Hoffa, NCAA national champion at Division II. Lenore Ryan transferred over. Had a chance to talk to him after the game yesterday that he had. Just an outstanding performance in their win against Appalachian State. And he said he really believes his team can go all the way this year, not just deep into the quarterfinals, but all the way. He's adamant about that. They certainly have the talent to do so. It's just a matter of putting it all together. They have not been healthy this entire season, and they're really not all the way 100% healthy for every player playing out there, but they are a team. You talk about grit, especially from a player like Huff, playing hurt, Tyler Nichols playing hurt, Cody Seaman playing hurt. This has been a grind of a season. They have found their execution here in this tournament. As Whaley picks this one up for Wake Forest. King, nice job by him, scooping it off the ground. King quickly moves it. Byrne, quick shot off of the leg of Seaman. And Cummings moves it along. Another 70 seconds now for Charlotte to possess.
You can see the ball movement of Charlotte isn't just their offense. That outlet pass and movement upfield on that clear really fast as well. You can tell no matter what position, the Charlotte players have very good stick skills and IQ to make the right pass at the right time.
Church almost took his own guy out with his stick there. Warnick was about to fire and thought better of it. Still 30 seconds on that shot clock. Take this almost down to the 3-minute mark if they want. Martin, bouncer, Nichols, and the play has been stopped. Church fell down. I think Martin actually ended up falling into the crease, and he is kind of gingerly walking away. Appears to be okay. He'll stay in this game. And Wake Forest going to have to set up a good clear here. Charlotte's been really, really tough against them in their own zone. Good setup there as they get it to Byrne, and he clears it. Wide open, but over the head of Declan Brady. Still collected though. Devlin trying to go. He gets bodied. Clamp down, hold against Wake Forest. Big play made there. I believe that was Luke Rothrock, the freshman from Raleigh. Getting a highlight. Cummings inside to Huff, off of the post again. Goodness. I think we know what they'll be practicing in practice this week. Two minutes and 20 seconds. And a timeout coming from Nick Nedvetsky. He's going to talk this over, make sure everything's buttoned up for this final 2 minutes. And try to make sure that Charlotte can secure this championship. We'll take a break. 2 minutes and 18 seconds from a title for the 49ers. They lead Wake Forest 12-8 here in the ALC Division II championship game. Back here at the ALC championship game, we are 2 minutes and 18 seconds away from crowning the Charlotte 49ers the Atlantic Lacrosse Conference champions for the third consecutive year. Wake Forest maybe have one more run in them. They get the turnover. But a missed pass again. And it just seems like Wake Forest has run out of gas here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot hotter today than it was yesterday. I thought the, not nerves, but gas might have run out for Charlotte. They have one of the smaller rosters in addition to all their injuries.
Henry Hole puts the exclamation point on a 3-year run of championship level lacrosse. It's special getting one conference championship here, Reagan, but to do it 3 years in a row, that takes a lot of people coming together and a lot of good leadership at the top to be able to maintain that level of success.
Absolutely. It's not just the leadership in the coaching, but the leadership of the players as well. It's nice being able to establish that winning culture when you've had guys who are freshmen and sophomores win a championship and then carry that tradition on and teach the new guys that come in as they step into those leadership roles.
For Wake Forest, they will wait and see tonight when the committee comes out with its tournament decision. They are number 13 right now in the country. They got a big ranked win yesterday as Logan Reynolds puts one home here to get the deficit to 4 with a minute 29 to go. But unless they're able to beat parity a few times in a row here, it's going to be tough for them to come back. It's going to be tight for Wake tonight, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You got that big win against Coastal yesterday.
Wake Forest, number 4.
One of the tough things about Division II is they tend to be smaller programs. They don't get as much support from their universities, so they're not able to travel and play all those ranked teams around the country. We talked about Liberty, Virginia Tech yesterday. Both of them respectively played 8 ranked opponents and 11 ranked opponents throughout their season. Those two combined played more ranked opponents than all of the Division II participants in the tournament this year. Charlotte was the most with 5 ranked opponents this season.
And what a way for Ryan Parody to end his day. Adds a goal onto his spectacular face-off dot performance.
Parody's won 18 of 24 face-offs so far.
You could see Coach Nick Nedvetsky giving his Fogo, we can't really call him a Fogo, we'd call him a pure face-off specialist and an offensive threat. Gives him a big bear hug after that one.
Goal, UNC Charlotte.
And
Number 2, Ryan
push
Parody. Unassisted.
going up against Charlotte, so Wake Forest will have it, but Wake Forest will wait and see. And for Charlotte, who knows how high they'll get ranked here. They come in as the number 11 team, but again, health was not there for them this season. Now with a fully healthy team, and if the committee sees that and sees how dominant they were here in this tournament, you wonder if they're able to crack that top 5 seeding as a penalty to end this game. Goes against Wake Forest, which should all but end it. You said you were really impressed when you got to talk to Coach Nick. What impressed him so much about the aura that he had?
It was not just his lacrosse knowledge, I think. I think it was about kind of the culture he tries to instill. He talked about how he wants to invest in players, not just his lacrosse guys, but his young men. He's hoping that even when their careers are over, that they can come to him at any time if they're ever in trouble or ever need just someone to talk to. I think he's a great resource for these players, and he's really cultivated that team aspect. And when all these guys are best friends off the field, it helps their play on the field as well. And you can see it, just how smooth their passing is. They always know where their teammates are. I think that's part of the reason, not just part of the reason, but one of the main reasons they've been able to most likely three-peat here today.
They always talk about one thing in one word, and that word is family. He had mentioned he has just really good mentors. We talked about Andrew Tobias, the head coach at Clemson, was his coach when he was here at Charlotte playing, and it's got to be a proud moment for him to see a coach that he actually was able to coach be so successful at this level. Mark Burham from Team Iroquois, another mentor of his. It's been a long time coming from those days in Buffalo. And from those days, traveled to Charlotte, was a player there in 2017, finished up his career with 168 points, came back, coached for a few years, took over the helm, and then COVID hits right away, but he kept this program going during that tough time for everybody, and it has paid off. After missing the entire season in 2021 as well, they were ready for when things resumed, and they have not looked back. 3 consecutive seasons of championship lacrosse. As you can see, the players shaking hands. A three-peat along with a dynasty. Charlotte wins the Atlantic Lacrosse Conference title for the 3rd straight year. What a performance today as we wrap up the ALC tournament at Division II. The Charlotte 49ers are heading to Round Rock with a Division II ALC title for the third consecutive year. The final score here from Lynchburg, 14-9. Charlotte on top of Wake Forest. For our producer, Josh Moon, and our whole production crew, along with our color commentator, Reagan Pritchett, I'm Dan Zappano. We thank you for joining us here at the ALC tournament. Come on back for the Division I final between Liberty and Tennessee right here at Lynchburg City Stadium.